I don't know. That doesn't matter. Greetings, friends. It's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're here today for another exciting episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. And welcome, Ryan. How are you today?
Josh, you forgot the tagline.
Oh yeah, this is a podcast for gamers who don't have time to game. If you didn't already know, point of order. I did realize that I screwed up on the editing of our last episode, and so the outro music is like in the middle of the episode. I'm going to fix it and re-upload it. So
Nice.
I am sorry though. I just haven't gotten around to fixing that and re-uploading it. But
Tech department
Yeah.
is fired.
yeah, no, I've already fired everyone responsible for that. They have been sacked, and the people responsible for sacking them have been sacked. Little Monty Python humor for those of you in the know. So hey Ryan, what's up?
Hey, I don't know. Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff is up. Oh, also, sorry, another point of order. I apologize also for
We got
this.
lots of points of order.
Yeah, we
today.
do. This episode's a week late because I miscalculated. So,
Oh, yes, it is. You're right.
Again, my bad.
Whoopsie.
So, yeah. Anyway, we'll go ahead and move on here. So,
We were just helping build the anticipation and the hype a little bit by making people wait.
oh, for sure,
7 more
for
days.
sure, it's like Christmas.
Yeah, you just build the hype a little bit.
Absolutely. So, I have some interesting news in the land of story, in the
right.
land of stories or something.
That's
I don't
good.
know.
That's good, because I was on the way over here. I was like, I don't really have any funny stories.
Oh no, I've got some good stories right now. So, I have recently ordered a couple things off of the internet, as one does. And so there's this show that I really like that has its own shop. And so I ordered some stuff. They were having a big sale. Like everything was on sale, like almost half off.
Love when that
Like
happens.
everything. Like even like their newest merchandise, everything was on sale. So I was like, sweet. So I bought I got a hoodie, a t-shirt, and like a set of the box set of the Blu-rays.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, all of it for half off. And so I order it, comes in the mail, and it turns out everything's great. But it turns out that when I was ordering the Blu-rays, I was actually ordering the DVDs. And so I was like, man,
That is not what I want.
that's not what I wanted. And so I was like, well, shoot. I guess I'll live with the DVDs. And Emmy was like, hey, you should just write them, like, and be like, hey, like. But I was
made a
like,
mistake.
yeah. But I was like, yeah, I can do that. But they're not gonna give me the Blu-rays at that 50% off discount.
Never know.
I'm gonna have to return. Like, I'll have to return the DVDs.
Probably, yes.
And then I'll have to pay full price, minus what the cost of
Right.
for the DVDs was. And so I messaged them, and they were like, oh, no big deal. Here, we're sending you a free copy of the Blu-rays.
What?
You keep the DVDs.
No one does that.
I know, right? Now get this. Something else happened where there's another show that is a show that I've been watching with my kids. That we all really like, and so they were having this thing and I was like, another kind of sale type thing for their shop, and so I was like, hey, I'll take advantage of that, and so I ordered a couple t-shirts, and I ordered the Blu-rays of the show.
Did you really order the Blu-ray?
I did really order the Blu-rays, so I got the Blu-rays, and so I ordered a shirt for Emmy and a shirt for me,
Nice.
and I didn't order anything for my kids. So they were getting the Blu-rays, right? That's how that works. So anyway, that package comes in. That has the Blu-ray in it, which is exactly what I ordered. Has Emmy's shirt in it, and then it has a child's medium in it. And I went, oh no, did I screw up again? Oh man, I missed out on a shirt. So I'm like, whatever, not a big deal. I'm not gonna worry about it. This is my mistake. I'm gonna own this mistake. My daughter can have the shirt. It's gonna be that's fine, you know, and I'll be okay. And then I get an email from them that it's like, hey, review your recent purchase with us. And I look at it and I go, wait a second. No, I did order
I did the right thing.
adult medium.
Yeah.
And they screwed this up. And so then I'm like, well,
if they screwed it up.
but I've already opened the kid's shirt. And I've already given it to my daughter. I'm like, okay, like, I'll just ask for, like, the different, like, for them to refund the difference in the cost of the shirts. And we'll, you know, it'll be fine, whatever, because I can't return the shirt. So I send them an email saying, hey, can you just refund the difference? And they go, oh, sorry about the mistake. We're going to send you the shirt you originally ordered. And I'm like, and this happened within, like, the span of a week of each other.
So what you're saying is, if I ever want free stuff, I just need to have you order it for me, and then I'll get some free stuff.
Wait for something to go wrong
what
when
I'm
Josh
hearing.
orders it. Yeah, I mean,
Moral of the story.
It was the wildest, like, week of...
That is crazy, though, to have, like, two orders that way.
So,
Nice.
Very, very pleased with how that all...
Nice.
And, like, that was the funny thing about it, because, like, if it had been any other time, I would have assumed on the second order that they had screwed up.
Yeah.
Like, I just would have... But because I had already screwed up once, I was like, this is probably on me.
Josh is bad at ordering
I didn't even bother to go back and look at the order, because I was like, I just screwed it up. I don't know what's wrong with me.
That's really funny.
So, yeah.
Were you having moments of self-doubt? Like, do I not know how to order stuff off the internet?
No, I think I was just like... You know, I think what it was is that I was... Like, the first time, I think I was trying to order it so quickly.
Yeah.
Because it was a limited time sale.
Right.
Like, you know, they can't have, you know, half off for more than, like, a day.
Yeah.
And it was getting later in the day. I'm like, I gotta get this order in. I think there was, like...
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of this... It wasn't, like, as big a deal with the second one, but I think I was just doing something. I was trying to, you know...
Yeah.
Let's move this along. And so, like I said, at that point, I just assumed, oh, I screwed this up.
Did it again.
But no, I ended up getting two completely free items.
Love it.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So you got free stuff and good customer service twice, which is two things that you never get.
That's true. That's
yay.
very rare. Very rare.
Nice.
So, yeah. No, I was excited about it.
That's awesome.
And it's, you know, they're good things too.
Yeah,
so
even better.
Get to advertise some of my favorite stuff.
Even better.
So, yeah.
Cool.
So, you said you don't have any funny stories, but what's going on, Ryan?
You know what? I have what I thought was a funny story, and then on the way over here I started to doubt the level of funny that it was. I was like, I'm not going to tell that story.
It's always how it goes, right?
But now that we're here, you know, I realized I don't really care if it's funny or not. I'm just going to tell it anyway.
Just tell us the story.
So this is a toothbrush story. And the reason I think it's funny is because we've done a toothbrush story.
Yes,
so that's why I think it's funny.
Beautiful.
So, kind of similar situation as you. We weren't sick, but we needed new toothbrushes.
Right.
And so my wife goes to the Walmart right down the street here. She gets two of the little, you know, whatever they are, $3 or $5 powered toothbrushes or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
That use AA batteries. And she gets a red one and a purple one. Just, you know, two different colors to make it obvious whose is whose. So she brings them home, and then that night it's like really late, and I go to brush my teeth, and it was dark, and in the dark she had taken one of the toothbrushes upstairs for her, and I was still downstairs actually playing Xbox. And so I didn't want to go in the room and wake them up. So I went in the bathroom where the other toothbrush that she didn't take upstairs, and it was the purple one. So my toothbrush is the purple toothbrush.
Nice.
Which I just thought was funny because she did not intend for it to be that way, but it just worked out that way. And I was just kind of laughing because, like, again, it's not that funny, but the fact that we've had multiple toothbrush stories on this podcast,
that's odd. That is odd.
So, yeah. and I couldn't even play it off like, oh, it's a cool Vikings color. Like, it's like a very light pastel purple. But whatever. That's my toothbrush now.
Nice.
So.
Ryan and his purple toothbrush.
I do. I have a purple toothbrush.
Beautiful.
I'm proud of it too.
You should be. You should be proud of that.
Hers is like really cool. Like it's like this like burnt orange red color, and I'm like, man, yours is so much cooler than mine. But that's okay.
So so toothbrushes and free stuff. Free stuff and toothbrushes.
Love it.
Beautiful things.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. So how about some news from the month of March? Right? Or April. Month of April.
Something.
Sorry,
like that.
I am off on my time. Good Lord, what is wrong with me?
When you said it, I was like, wait, is it
Wait, no.
March?
This is the April news episode. My mistake, people.
Yeah.
Good gracious. I am old. I can't remember things. I can't order things off of the internet.
That darn internet.
Darn internet. I don't even know how it works.
There was some pretty big gaming news.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of gaming-related stuff recently.
Sure. What have you got, Ryan? What have you got?
Well, one thing that I am really excited about, and this would have been even more relevant, but we're a week behind, but that's okay.
That's good.
The new Fallout TV show.
Okay,
on
yes.
Amazon Prime.
Yes.
So season 1 is on Amazon Prime, and it was awesome.
That's good.
It was so good.
I haven't watched a single minute of it.
So good. I finished it and was like, I'm going to rewatch that again very soon.
Nice.
It was really good. So for me, and this is not like a hot take, but it's rare for video games that go to film. It's rare for them to be good.
Sure. Yes.
So for it to be really well done was just exciting for me.
Yeah, for sure. See, I've not played a minute of any Fallout game, so I have not watched a minute of the Fallout show.
Ay.
I know there's something wrong with me. There was an era of time where I just like missed out on like the big games because I was like playing Mario. I don't know. Like I don't know what I was doing. Probably playing Assassin's Creed or something.
Here's the good news, Josh. Game Pass.
If I had Game Pass still, I should probably subscribe to Game Pass, but I can't.
So one thing that was really pretty cool is the popularity in Fallout 4. Well, all the Fallout games skyrocketed after the show came out.
Oh, nice.
So in like the 2 weeks after the show came out, the number one selling game in all of Europe was Fallout 4.
Wow.
And it's like, I'm going to say 9 or 10 years old at this point. 8 or 9 years old, something like that.
Wow.
And yeah, because of the show, like people just were like buying it up.
I think I got a free copy of Fallout from someone.
Really great
like
game.
Well, not the original, but like one of the sequels.
Yeah.
Like
so, yeah, and Fallout 76, which I've actually never played, but my understanding is it's an MMO type game. It got like a bunch of new players signed up for it and stuff.
Nice.
So all these games that have been out for a while.
Well, that's an interesting thing that would be a new thing for a video game, right? For like the TV show to be the thing that like hooks people in to the game.
Boost the game.
That's
sales.
interesting because like. I mean, that's what they used to do with, like, toys back in the late 80s, early 90s. Like, you make a TV show to sell your toys.
Right.
And, like, would that work for video game? Like, so far, what most people have done, here's a popular franchise, let's make a game out of or a movie out of it. And it, like, is total trash.
Terrible. And no one wants to talk about it or play it or,
But like if you could make a show and be like, hey, we've got a video game about this show too.
So no, it's extremely well done. If you're not familiar with the Fallout lore or franchise, the basic gist is in the year 2077, the United States has essentially they've almost gone backwards in time because they had converted to entirely nuclear energy, but then they used it all up. So like their like energy and what they used for power and energy was gone. And so they started running low on resources, and then this company comes along called Vault-Tec that they build vaults underground, and the whole purpose of the vaults is to if you have to go escape because the nuclear war is inevitable, as they would say, like it's going to happen, and so if you want to escape nuclear war, go, you buy your place in a vault.
Gotcha.
And that's so then you go live in the vault, and then hopefully the goal is you leave and resettle and repopulate and all.
Gotcha.
That's the basic premise of Fallout. And I don't want to say too much because the show has a ton of there's a lot of spoilers, and there's like theories and questions that fans have had for years that the show actually answers, that for 10 or 15 years were just theories on message boards, and the show confirms it. And so
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So I don't want to say too much, but that's the basic premise, and it's really, really well done. They do a pretty good job of sticking to the lore. Bethesda, who makes the games, was also the people who produced the TV show with Amazon, so they were very directly involved. So yeah, it was really cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So I've got a bit of news. It's a little bit after April, or actually no. Before we get into that, before I get into that one, Game Informer.
Here we go.
Had a contest for, or not a contest, but a voting block, a bracket. There's the word I'm looking for.
Oh yeah.
Like an NCAA bracket for the greatest video game of all time.
Of all time? Oh,
yes.
Wow.
And so it ended up being Ocarina of Time versus, in the final, Ocarina of Time versus Elder Scrolls V. Skyrim.
Elder Scrolls V is Skyrim. Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
So those were the two finals.
That's an interesting finals. Okay.
Who do you think won, Ryan?
Who do I think won?
Yeah, who do you think won?
Or who should have won?
Who do you think won first off, and then
wow?
Who should have won, and then who do you think won?
Between
if they're
those
different.
Between those two, who should have won? Ocarina of Time. Who I think won, because I'm trying to speculate how gaming fans would vote. Skyrim.
You would be incorrect. So Ocarina of Time, according to the readers of Game Informer, which I'm sure are all people who are in their mid-30s at this point, because no one else is reading Game Informer.
I am a reader of Game Informer.
Right. So I think that there's probably some bias there, but like,
of course.
That was their bracket for greatest game of all time. So it started out like there are some interesting things that had to win over. So like in the first round, you had Halo versus Wind Waker.
Huh.
And Wind Waker somehow won that.
No, come on.
Yeah. And then let's see. What's some other interesting things on here? Super Mario 64 versus Kingdom Hearts 2, which Super Mario 64 won.
Had to.
And then Super Mario 64 in the next round went up against Metroid Prime.
Okay.
And then Super Mario 64 beat out Metroid Prime.
All right.
Then it was Super Mario 64 versus Red Dead Redemption 2, of which Red Dead Redemption 2 won.
No, it's a good game, but come on now.
Yeah, and then so Red Dead Redemption made it all the way to the semifinal. It was Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Huh.
So
that's interesting.
So some really interesting stuff there. Man, really? Sorry, I haven't looked at this in depth, but Halo 3, in the first round, it was Halo 3 versus Grand Theft Auto 5. And Grand Theft Auto 5 beat Halo 3.
Come on.
Which is just bizarre. So
that's because it's all the online Grand Theft Auto players.
As much as I want to give this poll and this bracket credit for like crowning Ocarina of Time as the greatest game of all time. Like,
some other questionable stuff.
there is some questionable stuff going on here. And then, okay, first off, they pitted Knights of the Old Republic versus Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh, come on, that's not fair.
That is a completely unfair matchup. I mean, I guess it does. I mean, I guess they're like that's how brackets work, right? You've got unfair matchups, but like,
yeah, but if you're talking
Those
number of fans, Animal Crossing,
yeah,
is that gonna overwhelm you by numbers? But the better game is objectively Knights of the Old Republic.
Right,
Like if
yeah.
you're just talking about quality video games,
right. So let's see. On the other side of the bracket, let's see. What are some interesting things here? You got Breath of the Wild versus Mario Galaxy.
Who won that one?
Breath of the Wild, obviously. And then Breath of the Wild versus a popular game that we've been talking about recently, Persona 5.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild won that. And then it was Breath of the Wild versus Metal Gear Solid.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
And Breath of the Wild won that one.
All right.
And then it was Breath of the Wild versus The Last of Us.
Oh man.
And The Last of Us won that one.
That is difficult.
Last of Us won that, and then it was Last of Us versus Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, and yeah, so Skyrim won that. So I mean, some interesting stuff there, like for sure. But okay, here's one that's interesting. First round, Tetris versus Bloodborne.
Tetris. That's
And then
dumb.
And then the next round was Tetris versus Metal Gear Solid. It's like I don't know, man. Like,
Okay, so something I'm thinking, and this is a perfect time to interject. How do you qualify and quantify greatest game, and like
right.
what's the criteria? Because like Ocarina of Time, I have these phenomenal memories, and it's like part of my
Right.
childhood. But I've gone back and tried to play it now, and it's like, oh, this is just brutal. So like I actually had to stop playing it because like this is gonna ruin it for me. I'm just gonna
Oh no, man.
I'm just gonna put it back and it's gonna be a memory for
I
me.
can play that game forever. I can
do
play
it.
it over and over again. That game's amazing.
But like so it seems so subjective.
No, for sure. I mean, well, the thing is, like, Tetris is a great game because Tetris is just mind-numbingly easy to play.
And its impact on gaming in general is so massive.
So massive. And we talked about this like a year ago, I think, with me and Matt when we talked about the Tetris movie.
Yeah.
That's available on Apple, which is absolutely amazing.
I still haven't seen it. I want to see it.
It's so good. So good. Go and watch that. Find a way to get an Apple subscription for a month just so you can watch that movie. It's so good. But no, like for sure, like like you said, like how do you quantify that? How do you and you can't put Tetris versus Metal Gear Solid and expect that to be like that's not an apples to apples comparison.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like you're comparing apples to oranges at that point.
Because
Or I mean, not even apples to oranges, like because they're completely different. Like you're in a completely different realm of great game, right?
And I just remember, I remember playing Metal Gear Solid, and I was not bad at it, but I was not great. So at the time, my brother and I shared a console, and so he was really good at it. So I would watch him play, and I had a ton of fun watching him play, just because it was still like it's a really fun story. It's the stealth, and they did stealth video game. No one had done it that well at that time, and so it was just like. But how do you compare?
You cannot compare it to
Tetris.
Compare
this overly simplistic puzzle game.
Yeah.
That had a dramatic. It's just weird.
Something that does make sense. Like here's one in the second round: Fallout 3 versus Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Like, that's a fair comparison, right? Like, I haven't played either of them, so I can't speak to them. But like, those seem like comparable games.
Yeah. And even made by the same people.
So, I mean, and then Final Fantasy VII versus Super Mario Brothers 3, like, not exactly in the same genre, not exactly on the same level, like, or in the same era, but it makes sense to compare those two games, right? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me to try to compare some of these games to other games. It just I'm just curious. Were there any sports games in the whole bracket?
Street Fighter.
I don't know. What? Okay, here's this one. So no, there are no sports games.
All right, good.
But here's one that's just absolutely bizarre. So I thought Tetris versus Bloodborne was weird. How about, where did it go? Oh yeah, there it is. Minecraft and BioShock.
That's also very hard to compare.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, again, like,
how do you do that?
You can't, like, Minecraft is not, it's a building game, right? It's not like,
it's virtual Legos.
Right.
I mean, like,
you can't, I mean, I don't know.
And I love it. My son plays Minecraft all the time, so we love Minecraft in our house. But
I don't see that.
It to...
I don't see that as a good game to be compared. Anyway,
yeah.
All that to say, I appreciate the result. I question the method. So that's
that is really interesting, though.
But there was some. There's a new Star Wars game. I didn't read too much about it. This new Star Wars Outlaws coming out.
Yes, I saw.
I don't know a whole lot about that, but that could be interesting.
You're definitely gonna have to buy Game Pass.
Yeah, probably.
Because the way I saw that was it said coming soon to Game Pass.
Oh, yeah, of course. But I think it's has something to do with, I mean, outside of the main story, obviously, like, but kind of in the underworld.
Yeah.
Of Star Wars, therefore the name Outlaws. So interesting stuff there. But that's also in that issue of Game Informer.
Yep.
So in the realm of other new things that are coming out or have come out, or I know this one still hasn't been released. So coming in June, they are re-releasing the. See, here's the thing. Like, this is interesting to me. They're releasing Luigi's Mansion 2 HD on the Switch. So Luigi's Mansion 2 was originally a 3DS title,
right?
That has never had a console release. But they, like, I can appreciate Nintendo like releasing games that like people want, like in HD versions that people can play them on their consoles or whatever. They haven't released a Luigi's Mansion 1 HD. Like, Luigi's Mansion HD has not been a thing.
Now is the time.
And so, like, why are they releasing 2 before 1? But also, like, remake. Like, again, it's Nintendo, take my money, but
which they're usually happy to do.
Right,
so.
Absolutely. Like, how many remakes are we gonna get, before we get Metroid Prime 4?
All of them.
Everything will have an HD. Super Mario Brothers HD, the original NES game, now in high definition on your Switch. Not just on the virtual console. Here is an actual cart.
The arcade game with Donkey Kong throwing the barrels down.
HD. Donkey Kong HD. I mean, everything's going to... You're right. Everything else will come out before they come out with Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
And it's just to spite me. That's what I believe. They will take all of my money and then they will release Metroid Prime 4 and I will be completely bankrupt and be like, I'm out of a job because of you.
You will spend your last penny and then they will announce, oh, by the way, next.
Oh man. So, but yeah, so I talked about Luigi's Mansion sometime last year.
Yeah.
And I had never played it, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So I've obviously never played Luigi's Mansion 2. So that one would be something that I would be excited to get into and to play.
Yeah.
And my kids love Luigi Mansion, so my son especially loves Luigi. He's obsessed with the little Lego Luigi that we have, and I
Yes.
have to keep it away from
I
him
love
because
those things.
he is so attached to that thing. It's bad, because it's his friend. And so he wants to take it with him everywhere, and when we take it away from, when we say, hey, we need to leave that here, it's just complete nuclear meltdown.
It's just the worst thing
And so it's
ever said to him.
Okay, we can't play with this because you're
Yeah.
going to act like that.
Yep.
We can't do it. I can't put so he Lego Luigi lives in a china cabinet that no one can touch. But anyway, so everyone loves Luigi's Mansion in this house, so I will almost certainly be buying that and playing it.
I am ashamed to admit that I still have never played any second of Luigi's Mansion.
Well, no, I mean, that makes sense for you. You never had a GameCube. You don't have access to a GameCube now, and at this point, that's the
true.
only way to get it.
My brother had a GameCube, but I never really played. The only thing I played on it was the Mario Soccer game, which I loved. So
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But even the newer ones, I haven't.
Well, there's only one, there's one on the Luigi's Mansion 3 is the only one out on the Switch. Yeah. So
I've heard great things.
No, it looks good.
And they look fun.
Like I said, my kids love all of them, and there's a song on YouTube by, I think the guy's name is C5 maybe, called Phantom Dancing, that my son just absolutely loves. That's a kind of a it's not a rap, but it's it's a song that's based on Luigi's Mansion. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, so if you want to look that up, Phantom Dancing is the name of the song, and it's catchy.
Yeah.
Very cool. So
Speaking of GameCube, why hasn't Nintendo done the Virtual Console for the GameCube yet on the Switch?
because they want to release HD versions of the GameCube games. That's why. And it's going back just a hair. It's CG5 is the name of the guy who does the song.
CG5.
Phantom Dancing by CG5. But no, I think anyway that they might eventually do a Virtual Console for the GameCube, but I really do think that they want to release HD versions of
Remakes
remakes
yeah.
of more of the GameCube games. I'm still waiting for the Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remakes. So
I am still waiting for Josh to get those and play them and beat them so that I can borrow them from him.
for sure. So let's see. What else have you got, Ryan? Any news?
The only other thing I wrote down here was, and we've been talking about it a little bit in our group chat, but there's been rumors lately about Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox.
Oh, yes.
Which would be very interesting because it's made by Sony.
Right.
But yeah, that's been a rumor.
Now, is that... So we've been talking about that a little bit in our group chat, and the way that Matt talks about it sounds amazing. Now, I didn't look anything up on it. I should have, and I meant to. But is that game free to play?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I've heard good things about it, and I've heard Matt talk about it.
Yeah, no, and it looks based on the trailer that Matt sent us, that game looks amazing.
It looks like a lot of fun.
So flippin' funny.
I just thought more than anything, I thought it was interesting because it's it's literally made by Sony Interactive, and so that's usually a guarantee that it's only going to be on PlayStation. But rumor that they've released it on PC, and now rumor is that it's going to come to Xbox too, which would be
great.
Awesome.
That would be awesome. I will take that every day of the week. Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I just thought of this too. It might be out now. I can't remember. I think it is released. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door
Yeah, the remake
The
on the
remake,
Switch.
yes, because we're
Yeah.
talking about remakes.
Yeah.
I think that released.
Let's see.
If
Get our research department on that real quick.
If it hasn't come out, it's coming out any day. But I think it came out like within the past few days.
Well, I mean, since we are a week late on this, you know,
Yeah.
that would have been a good thing to talk about.
I don't even have it in my notes. I just
Let's
remember seeing people talking about it.
Yeah, it does look like it. Maybe not. Maybe that's a. Yeah, I don't know. We're doing great with this with this news episode. Let me tell you. Well, the original released on July 22nd of 2004.
Yeah, like I said, just a few days ago.
May 23rd.
Okay, so a
So
couple
the-
weeks
yeah.
still.
This month
Yeah.
still. So
All
we're
right.
yeah.
So I'm that's one of those where I'd really like to have it, but I just don't think I could pay for the remake type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like
But they're a lot of fun. Those Paper
See,
Mario games are so much
I've
fun.
never
Josh,
I've never played
what
a
are you
Paper
doing to
Mario
me here?
game. My daughter has played one of the Paper Mario games on
This-
the Virtual Console, but I have not.
This is the perfect opportunity for you to wade into the RPG role-playing game genre. It's Mario. It's all the characters you know and love, just
But-
with a little RPG element added in.
It's so hard.
No, it's not, Josh.
RPGs are hard, and I don't like them. And not because they're hard. They annoy me, in general. As a general rule, I find myself annoyed by those kind of RPGs, like the stop whatever
Turn-based?
turn-based. Thank you. I
Yeah.
couldn't come up with the word. Turn-based RPGs annoy me. So I mean,
Listen out, man.
I can't get
missing
over it.
out.
I can't get over it. It's like if someone look, here's the thing. Like I get it. They're video games. They're not supposed to be realistic. But if I'm in a fight with someone, I'm not just going to let them hit me. I'm going to defend or try to defend every
Oh, yeah, of
single
course.
time. And so like the fact that I can't like because it's turn based, I can't defend every single time and win.
All right. So,
Right?
let me ask you a question, Josh.
There are no answers.
Do you like to play board games?
Yes, I like board games.
Board games are turn-based.
Yes, but those are board games, not video games.
Oh, come on. Now we're just playing semantics with the medium in which you
Look.
get your entertainment.
Yes, no, because I don't want to sit and watch my player or my character take damage that I should be able to prevent.
If I was a settler in Catan, I would not just let you build the longest road past me. I would actively stop you.
But
from building.
that's the
See,
thing.
that's what you're saying.
You have the chance to actively stop me on your turn.
on my turn, exactly.
Yes.
On my turn.
Yes, see, no. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to make this like Risk, right? Like so, but it's not like turn-based RPGs are not like Risk, because in Risk I am rolling the dice at the same time as the person attacking me. I get to like the thing is happening at the same time.
Sure.
I don't see that happening in a turn-based RPG. I know technically it's happening behind the scenes.
Exactly.
But that, like, I'm not taking an active role in it, right? Like,
new
I have to
mission.
sit back and passively watch them roll their dice where they get to attack me, and my dice that are just happening kind of in the background, I don't get to, like, have any say in what my dice are doing.
My new mission for this podcast and for the YouTube channel and for every brand of Dead Tired Dads that we have is to get you to play role-playing games.
Oh, my goodness. Ugh. Jeez.
All right, play Final Fantasy VII Remake or whatever, because it's
I think that I could get behind.
because it's not turn-based.
It's
It
not
is, yes.
turn-based, exactly. But
Yeah.
I have such a hard time with turn-based RPGs. I just do. I don't,
Ay, ay, ay.
even Knights of the Old Republic, I have a hard time with it. And it's not even like that's not even like real turn-based RPG. Like it's like
So here's my
action turn-based.
Here's my thoughts on it. Playing a game like, say, Metroid Dread, I have an active chance to defend myself and to prevent damage and, all the things you're saying.
Right.
And you know what happened to me when I played that game?
You died a lot.
I died horribly over and over and over and over. So my opportunities to defend myself and prevent damage did nothing for me.
Well, this is true. This is true. I wish I had an active opportunity.
That's fair.
And
I
like
understand.
that's my only like that's one of the big things for me. Anyway, moving on.
We digress.
We do digress very far. So one other in the world of VR, there is a new Batman Arkham game coming out exclusively to the MetaQuest 3.
Okay.
So, Batman Arkham Shadow is the name of the game. So, they had released an Arkham VR originally for the PlayStation VR a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was really popular, had a lot of success. And so now they're finally coming out with another VR Batman game. I don't know, like I was saying on like our last episode, I was trying to play Myst on VR and I could not do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well I would do with something like Batman in VR, but
That seems tough.
yeah, no, but I mean it's an interesting concept, could be fun. So I don't know. That was a fairly recent that was as of May 1st. So
Certainly qualifies as worthy news, because does that mean you get to be Batman?
yes,
in virtual reality?
You are Batman in virtual reality.
Cool.
So like I said, I don't know exactly how that plays out, but yeah, that trailer it's coming out June 7th, I think, is what. So pretty recent or pretty quick.
Yeah. Interesting.
Or let's see here. Oh, they will have more information on June 7th. So I don't guess it's coming out then, but like I said, exclusively to the MetaQuest 3. So for if you have a Quest 2 headset, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
But the Quest 3 is, I mean, there's a lot of updates on that makes it a lot better than the Quest 2, but so it makes sense that they would do that.
Interesting. Here's some gaming news that I just thought of, and it's like brand new, hot off the press stuff. Baldur's Gate 3, people, particularly Xbox owners, but Xbox and PlayStation gamers who have been waiting on their physical copy, so you have to order it directly from them, and people have been waiting for a long time. They were told what were they told? They were told they would receive their physical copy the first quarter of 2024.
That's come and gone.
And that has passed. And an email went out today to people who ordered a physical copy. And they were like apologizing, saying that they're behind schedule and they hope to have it to everyone by the end of May. So
oh, jeez.
Do with that what you will. But I have not yet
that's such a tough
ordered yet. But a friend of mine sent me his screenshot of his email that he got today. So
like that's so hard. Like,
Yeah.
as someone who appreciates physical media, obviously, as we've talked about many times, like that's so hard to like think that like physical media is going to become a thing like that, where it's
Yeah.
like if you want it, you have to order it directly from us.
Yeah, you can't.
And like it's going to be delayed like forever. You can't buy it in a store anywhere.
Can't
like
go to GameStop or Best Buy and get it. You
like-
got to order it direct, and it definitely costs more.
yeah,
I want to say it was like $20 or $30 more
it's wild,
to buy physical.
wild. So.
But,
Well, hopefully, if you're one of those people who have ordered that, it comes in soon. And then
Yeah.
one other thing that and we've talked a lot lately about like how we feel like the amount of money being spent on gaming and the gaming
yeah.
that's being tossed around is really untenable and it's all unsustainable.
It's just massive.
Square Enix, speaking of Final Fantasy,
Yes.
apparently is laying off a bunch of people. I had seen
No.
something about that. So, or maybe
Yeah.
maybe they're not laying off people. Maybe they lost. No, they lost a bunch of money. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I saw like there's rumors about that too. People are starting to speculate that what was it? A couple of games that they were waiting on might not happen now because of it. Shoot, what were those games? I just saw an article about it.
$140 million in losses due to content abandonment.
So they're just making stuff and then just decided not to.
Yeah, basically. Like
Jeez.
$140 million. So like I've said like in the last several episodes,
Just a couple pennies.
like in the last several episodes that we've talked about in our news episodes, the amount of money that is getting tossed around for this stuff is just completely untenable, and it's not like the market isn't like there's a huge market for gaming,
yeah.
but like it is not at the level that money is being spent on this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not. And so like I don't know, man. It's wild. And I guess really like if you're looking at Square Enix, you're like, I'm not interested in what you're developing. I'm interested in what you have developed.
Right.
Like I want the final. Like if I was going to try to buy Square Enix, I'm like I'm not interested in what you're working on. I want Final Fantasy. Give me that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to run that into the ground like Disney has done with all of their properties.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think eventually people are going to learn that like people's appetites are not endless for those kinds of things. Like fans are an interesting breed. Like if you're a fan of something, it's an interesting thing to be a fan, right? Because like you constantly crave more of the thing
of that thing, but not all.
But like if you get nothing but a steady stream of that thing, it no longer becomes appetizing, right?
It becomes stale,
right? And so like I can't the number of times that I've like begged for like more Star Wars content, like more movies, more like, and like
you got it,
and then like. And now it's like, okay, like...
Please stop.
I don't want any more Star Wars content. I want good Star Wars content. Like
I will trade you 4 of these for one good one.
Right. Which is, I mean, kind of what we got. That's a different topic of conversation. But, that's what I'm saying. Like, so like, yes, like as a developer, like you have to recognize, like...
Yeah.
I know you guys want this, but like I'm not going to like just throw everything down your throat because then you're no longer going to want it. Like it becomes something that becomes worthless.
Right.
So I'm
noticing something that's happening in conjunction with that, which is games are getting longer and longer and longer.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was it? Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I think.
Oh, the Assassin's Creed games are like
it's
ridiculously long now.
It's like average time to beat it is like 90 to 100 hours, and it's like that is nuts. Like when I sit down to play an Assassin's Creed game, I'm hoping to get through this thing in 10 to 15 hours, and that was cool and that was fun, and I'll play it again later.
Yeah.
Like, but 90 hours?
Well, and like the amount of world that you can build now, right? Like
it's so
like
large.
The world that you can make is so massive, and like so many people want that, and understandably, but like it makes the game so hard to actually sit down, especially like as we're getting older and like it's like I have way less time to do this.
It becomes a thing where it used to be for me, I would have one huge game that I was playing, like World of Warcraft, and then I might have a small, short side game that I was playing that I could put down and come back to.
Yeah.
Now it's to the point where you have to decide, like, oh, I like all 8 of these franchises, but I can only pick one that I'm going to spend 90 hours on.
Right.
And the other 7 I just don't get to play.
Yeah.
And so...
I don't know. I think and we've covered this, but I think that's where the indie game market really does have an opportunity to kind of step in and be that, like, okay, we're gonna come in and be that, like, hey, here's something you can play in 5 hours and be done with.
Yep.
And we really, like, I really think the market needs a lot more of that, and a lot more of that on the level of on a higher popularity level, because like you have like all the indie games that come out, like you have some of them that become really popular, but they're all like massively online multiplayer games, like where it's like here's this indie game that's really stupid, and like it's you and a bunch of other people, but like a single player game that is just a short, quick, where are the the Super Mario Brother games, right? Like where are those games where it's just like you can sit down, you can play this game in like 2 or 3 hours and be done with it. But like you just don't have that, and so like having those games developed, I think would be really cool, and seeing more of those become popular, not just seeing them, but seeing them become popular, where like people are clamoring for them, I think would be really cool. So, anyway, that's all I got on this for this episode. I don't know if you.
Too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. We appreciate you tuning in and hanging with us as we struggle through finding information and actually, delivering some sort of news. But hopefully you've gotten something out of this and you can take our opinions or leave them. If you enjoyed this episode, you can do all of the things, like, subscribe, share, do that stuff.
Do all the things.
We appreciate that. And we will catch you on the next episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast.
Bye.